Hi. Okay, so hopefully by now you've got your vision written down and you've taken out anything that doesn't feel good about that vision and it's sensory rich. You can actually just be there. You could close your eyes, you can picture yourself there, you can feel yourself there, you can feel the elements of whatever it is going around you, you can hear what's going on around you, but you're right in there and you've probably given it, a bright color, or maybe it's just very vivid, but something that just really brings this vision to life in your head. Well, now comes the work, because we want to embed that vision, the meta story, into your subconscious so that it starts doing the work for you. And this is where the hard work does come in. Now, there is some good news to share. That is, if you do this process enough times, eventually you don't have to keep writing it out or saying it out loud or any of those things, because it becomes a second nature that you embed a vision and it will stick and things will start manifesting for you more quickly and more quickly as you go along. Now, one of the things in the book, which is called How to Make Money for Anything Fast, I'm not sure if I mentioned that, but it's definitely mentioned in the blog, which is where I got this process, which is called cybernetic transposition. I know it sounds terribly scary. That's where it came from. And this is why I'm breaking it down and I'm trying to deliver it in a way that's just easily digestible, because it's kind of intense how it's delivered in the book and hard work to read. And I'm not a reader and I struggled with it. So I thought, I'm sure I can deliver this in a better way. And that's why I do it the way I do. That's why I wrote it in the blog the way I did, make it a bit more fun, and having the videos just to back up what I'm telling you, basically. So you've got your vision and it should only really be, a paragraph. You don't want it to be reams and reams and reams, because you're capturing just that moment, and you're putting it in the present tense. I have just made $5,000. I'm over the moon. I'm drinking a glass of champagne to celebrate. Whatever your vision is, the sun is shining, the birds are singing, in a location that would make sense for you to have received that news or whatever it is, and you're celebrating. Okay, so, and you've got your past memory feeling that you've transposed into it, so you can really feel that vision when you close your eyes and you run through it in your mind. Now, in the book, it tells you should write this out 100 times to really embed it. And there is a real connection, I have to say, when you write something out. Now, I'm going to put my hand up here. I've never written it out 100 times. I kind of lose interest after a while. I think the most I wrote it out was about 37, and I thought that'll do. And it was enough for me as it goes. If you feel that's not enough, then you carry on. You do what feels right for you. But what I also did was I read it out. I put it in a place where I would see it several times a day. I would read it out loud, and that was on my desk. It's in this office, basically. It's my desk. I'll put it down in front of my computer so that it's there, it's right in front of me, and I'll read it in my head. I'll read it out loud. And the other thing you can do is record it on your iPhone, and you can, even while you're reading it, you can play it back to yourself, so you're listening and you're reading at the same time. Now, what this is doing, because the brain is divided into these 4 different sections that deals with different aspects, and I've dealt with that more in the blog. It's basically pulling your brain, so it's working together. So instead of it doing a bit over here, a bit over here, it's pulling the whole thing together, okay? And it's going to start making you see opportunities, because your subconscious is going to be so dialed into this vision. You're not even going to know that some of the actions you're taking are moving you closer to your goal, because this is exactly what happened to me. Yesterday I explained, I joined the Super Affiliate Network, and it was about 5 weeks after I had written my meta story. I'd never heard of them. I didn't know that's where I was going to make my money. I had no clue. In fact, if I'd have thought it was going to be anywhere, it would have been the opportunity I was in prior to that. So you will do things that you won't even realize. And sometimes you will just get these inspirations come in and you just have to act on them. Okay, this is the key, taking action on it. Now, what's happening is you got these cells in your brain called the reticular activating system. And it's like if you want a particular kind of car that in a particular color, and you start seeing it everywhere, because this group of cells, this group of brain cells, it basically throws out things that it doesn't think you want to see. So in the past, it might have thrown out opportunities, it might have thrown out ideas, because it's just like, nah, that's not relevant. They're not interested in that. And what we're doing is we're creating something that these cells actually go, right. So you set, they basically a sat nav, and they're going, okay, I know what you're looking for. I know exactly what you're looking for. And I am going to sort out all the stuff that you don't need to see. And I will start bringing in the things that you do need to start taking notice of. And you will start noticing things that maybe you hadn't seen before, maybe you hadn't thought of before. Because this is what is going to start happening. Your subconscious is coordinating this stuff for you. You're going to start getting these downloads, these intuitive downloads about how you should maybe express yourself. Maybe you get an inspiration to do a live, and all of a sudden you get these commissions come in. This is how it happened for me. And it could happen in a completely different way for you. Okay. And it might be, I don't know, a claim that you suddenly thought, oh, do you know, we have these things called PPIs in the UK, and actually I've got to fill out a form for one. So maybe that's where some of my money is going to come from, whereby we would charge this insurance policy called a PPI, and it was basically illegal. A lot of people charged it on their debts, on their credit cards. And so a lot of people have been claiming back these policies, and they've been getting, thousands of pounds worth of refunds. So you never know, it could be something like that. All I'm saying is just let go of the how, because it might be your current business, but it might not be. Just keep an open mind that if something does present itself, maybe you actually need to explore that. I mean, certainly when I had the opportunity presented to me, it wasn't like, oh, well, I did that meta story thing, this must be the opportunity. It didn't happen like that at all. It was just like, yes, this is what I need to do. It just felt right. Okay, so you're calling in that intuition. You will feel you're almost guided. You're almost kind of taken on this ride in the direction that you want to go, and it's incredible. It's incredible how it works, and I wanted to share that with you. But you have to do the work. So write it, listen to it, read it out loud. There's something very powerful about reading your visions out loud or your goals out loud. It makes it a little bit more real. Writing it down, there is a very powerful connect between the brain and when you take the pen and you actually write this out. Do it as many times as you feel it's needed. Certainly, you want to probably do it 10 times or more at very least, till it's really embedded. But yeah, and put that tagline on the end, for the highest good of myself and all others involved. And that's basically stops any bad mojo. So I hope that's been really helpful to you. I know it's kind of a labor intensive way of embedding your vision, but if you want something bad enough, this takes a couple of days really, and just on a repetitive basis is just to sit down and make sure you immerse yourself in it at least once a day, if not several times. If it means reading it, listen to it, and just closing your eyes and being in that moment, just bathing in that moment. You only need to do the writing, one day. You're supposed to just sit down and do it in one sitting. It's not something I'll write it out here, but do as much as you can in one sitting, and then do all those other things as well, record it, listen to it back. But then after the first few days, on a daily basis, you want to just make sure you're immersed in that vision at least once a day. And do you know what? I'm really excited to hear about your results. So do report back. You don't have to tell us what your goal is. Sometimes it's better not to, because you feel a little exposed if you tell people what your goals are. So that's absolutely fine. But yeah, let us know if you get results. If you're actually doing this process, let us know if you get results, because I'd love to hear from you and hear what's happened and how it's happened, because it's kind of crazy how it happens, and it's fun and it's exciting. So yeah, do let's have some feedback. And thank you very much. If you have jumped on each of these and read the blog, I'll pop the last blog post that I wrote, the written one, into the comments, so you can also read it through as well if you feel you need that extra clarity. It's there for you written down. All right, guys, thank you for bearing with me on this. I know it's kind of intense, but it's kind of a really cool skill. Well, it's not even a skill. Anybody can do this. I think that's the beautiful thing about it. All right, so take care. Can't wait to hear how you get on, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.